Lonnie Quinn one more time. So, Lonnie, I feel like there's different factors happening here. There's the snowfall, there's the wind, and then there's the flooding, and possibly icing.
And
I mean,
you're right. So many. And in my 3 minutes, I want to try to get through all that. Okay, the flooding that KJ is talking about, that's going to be as far as the worst flooding will be when your high tide cycle hits. I'll try to go over some of those high tide cycles for you. Just know that's going to be late tonight when I think you see the worst inundation and with flooding at the coastal areas, all right? As far as the snow that's falling, right now it's a lighter snow in New York City. It's not as heavy as it was. The winds are still whipping. You've got blizzard-like conditions. So we're not officially classified as a blizzard, but we are close, all right? We're close. Here's what you have to deal with as far as whether you get a blizzard, whether you don't. Number one, you have to have visibility of less than a quarter of a mile. I don't have anyone at less, but boy, we are close. We're at 0.3 for Greenwich over to White Plains to Sparta. You're going to couple that with winds. They've got to be gusting and a sustained wind, actually, for 3 minutes. All right, and it's got to be 35 miles per hour or stronger. Got plenty of that action out there with the same areas that have a 0.3 visibility. So if it drops down to 0.24, I think you've got your blizzard situation right there. We're close, but we're not there officially as of yet. But those winds, they are howling in from the north and east. That's why it's a nor'easter, right? And that wind is going to push that water on shore. Coastal flood warnings and advisories. I'd say minor to moderate coastal flooding. I think the biggest numbers will be maybe 2 to 3 feet. Inundation, meaning 2 to 3 feet higher than your typical high tide. So for, like my friends in Freeport, but you guys flood with a full moon. Now you're putting this wind, pushing it on shore, and you're going to get some flooding in your area. As for when that's going to happen, high tide cycle, and it's going to be this high tide cycle that I think is going to be the worst. Could go into the morning as well, but this is the one I'm most concerned about. Battery Park, it takes place at 11:41. Fire Island, 10:49 tonight. Long Beach, New York, it's 11:08. Seaside Heights, New Jersey, 10:20 tonight. All right, and again, 2 to 3 feet higher than typical. As far as the radar picture as of right now, here's your rain snow line. This is what we're going to watch from this point forward, okay? The snow is out there, some real heavy bands, some of the heaviest of the day for some people up in like the Kingston area, also portions of Warren County. Mendon, New Jersey, I just got a little note, this is a little bit of breaking news for you. You now have the biggest number of anyone, an official reading of 27 inches. 27 inches right now in Mendon, New Jersey. Let's talk about this line right here because that's the icing line, right? The rain-snow line. As it pushes to the west, it's going to be pivoting. It's going to go just like that. That's how I think it's going to set up. So I do think it's going to make its way into New York. Maybe it goes a little farther to the north, but I also think it's going to hug the Jersey Shore. So we're going to see a changeover, but not for everybody. You're west of that line. You're going to hold on to all snow the whole time, and that's why that's where I find the bullseye, that 18 to 24-inch range. New York City, 12 to 18, well, you're already over 12. The biggest number, 26 inches outside of that Mendon that I just gave you. Washington Township has 26, Bridgewater 24, Byram Township 22, Warren 22, Randolph 20 inches. As for New York City, you have 13.3. I'll give you a Flushing number, 14.5. That's the biggest one in the city. And here we go, guys, my extended forecast. Whew, what a day this has been. As KJ said, right now it is not a top 5 storm. We may very well break into the top 10. I'm going to monitor everything. To be a top 5, you'd have to have 20 inches for New York City, and we may be shy of that. But there is more to go. We're not done with this until sometime the first half of tomorrow. Wednesday, you're 35. Thursday, 39. And look at that, almost 50 by the time you get to Saturday. What a day this has been, guys. It's all yours.
What a week. How about
it? Right?
All right, Lonnie.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.